It's time for What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. Here's your host, Phil McDougall.
Welcome, Reno. This is your host, Phil McDougall, and you're on What Drives Reno. This show is made possible by the National Automobile Museum, recently voted in the top 10 automobile museums in the entire country by USA Today. How recent? 2 days ago. So we're very excited about that. Also voted number one by TripAdvisor. We're very, very excited about that. If you haven't been to the museum, you don't know what you're missing. 250 cars. There's cars changing every 60 days. We have a theater. We have outdoor venues. We do it all. So if you haven't been down to the museum, please check it out. And after our first guest, I'm going to go and kind of give you a couple of highlights. And don't forget, Terry, I have a new name for it. I have our useless but awesome knowledge.
I like it.
And that offer is still good for our listeners if they're sitting there and they got an idea that is maybe a good piece of information they want to share. And if I use it on the air, I will give you a free pair of tickets to one of our concerts, which I'm going to talk about. And those are the Eagles tribute concert, the Beach Boys tribute, not the Beach Boys, the Beatles. Creedence Clear. Gosh darn it. Let's try all these things again. CCR.
There you go.
We have that, and we have so much more. So I'm excited about all these things, but I'm more excited about our first guest, Ashley Turney. Thank you very much for coming on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
We got Ashley here. She's the assistant city manager for the city of Reno, and we're very, very excited to have you. Thank you for coming on the show. And we always started off with, what was your first car? And if there's a story behind it.
There is a story. So my first car was a 1976 Plymouth Valiant that I saved up all summer at my first job and paid $400 for my first car. And my mom wanted me to have something very safe, so that was a bucket of rust, 4-door, very hip and cool, except 20 years too late to make it actually hip and cool. And the worst part is the first weekend that I owned it, we didn't know we were putting the key in the ignition upside down, and it actually broke the tumblers.
Oh, no.
And so from that point forward, the only way that I could start the car was actually gapping it on the block.
Wow.
And so you'd put the key in the ignition and turn it to the on switch, pop the hood, and then I had a screwdriver with a metal handle, very important because plastic would melt. And so you'd gap on the block between the two nuts that would help it turn over.
And how long did this last?
Well, until I got my second car.
Now, that's a first, Terry.
So you were essentially hot wiring your
I was
car.
hot wiring my own
So if I have
car
a
twice
problem
a day.
in the parking lot later on, you
I
can
got
help
you.
me get my car going?
Yeah, as long as you've got a screwdriver.
Okay,
I'm your girl.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is the first time someone has gone into that kind of detail. The bucket of rust part, I got that before. The $400.
First time hot wire.
First time hot wire. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that there's a potential career opportunity for me in the future, just in case this whole city thing doesn't work out.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh.
All right, so see, I don't know where to go from that. I was going to say, is there a story behind it, but you just put it all into one nice bucket.
It's all in one. I'm very to the point. You got to be expedient when it comes to. It's what we do in the government.
So actually, I got to tell our viewers here that when she walked in, she didn't miss a beat. I have a guitar that I ask everyone to sign. It's kind of momentum, so when I'm sitting there by the window looking out, don't know where I'm at, I can hopefully look over this guitar and bring back some memories. And she walked in, and I go, okay, well, great. This is the karaoke part, too. And she didn't miss a beat. What did you say?
I said, I'm happy to harmonize with you, Phil, on anything.
Anything.
Anything you got.
It's just not as fun when they don't take the bite. They don't go with the joke. But it was good. You probably would have just jumped in.
I come up with something.
That would have been
That's
good.
What we do.
Yeah.
Solve whatever problem that's thrown at you.
Show. And how many people are we up to now?
We actually
Between
1.1. Between 1 and 1.1.
Yes, the key is for our listeners between 1 and 1.1 billion listeners.
China's awake in about 30 minutes.
That's
so we're good.
perfect. That's perfect. I had some people say to me, how can you get those kind of numbers? And I said, listen to what I'm saying. Between 1 and 1.5. All right, we're going to jump right in. Actually, tell me what you do. Explain to our viewers. Give us the 30,000-foot level. What do you do? Why do you do it? Because I'm sure it's just a walk down Disneyland front entrance every day, right?
Yeah, people really like the government right now, so it's a good spot to be. So as we mentioned, I'm an assistant city manager at the city of Reno. I've been with the city for 11 years now in various roles, and part of my job as the assistant city manager is I help keep the trains on time. That's what we lovingly reference. So the local city of Reno government is set up. We have our city manager. She functions as the CEO of the organization. And then there are the 3 ACMs, and we divide all of the departments. So one ACM has the scary stuff. That's the badges and comms, and IT. One ACM has what I call the hard stuff, physical infrastructure, public works, streets. And then I have everything else. So I have a lot of the forward-facing components, code enforcement, some facets of special events, economic development, business licensing, and then a very large portion of my job now is overseeing the Reno Redevelopment Agency. So the agency was established actually back in 1983, and it was set up as essentially an investment to help to reinvest taxpayer money into blighted areas in order to bring it back to its luster and make it better than before. It's very narrow in the law what we're allowed to spend the money on, and the nice thing is no one pays any extra tax for that. It's what the existing money is for. So that's come back from its dormancy. It actually went underground and dormant during the recession because property tax values fell so far. Mm-hmm. And so for nearly 17 years, the agency was inactive, and we just relaunched it about 18 months ago. And so that has come and taken over a large part of my portfolio now. So that's what I do on the daily basis, is help to re-energize that agency and find ways to reinvest in our community.
And that is always just, what's the expression? Happy flowers, beautiful music.
Happy and flowers.
Yeah,
That's
happy
the
and
expression.
flowers.
You know what's funny? I was so naive. With the National Automobile Museum, there's so many different things that have come up that we're working on from time to time. And I'll talk to someone in the city and I'll go, okay, whatever that issue is. Yep. And then I'll bump into you and you go, I go, how? Because I didn't realize how it was set up. Like I never wanted to bother you.
Sure.
But everything goes to you or one of the other
It does, yeah. So that's why we always call us. We're happy to help. That's part of our job, is we're really facilitators. And I may not know exactly how to solve your problem, but I can guarantee I know exactly who can solve your problem.
Well, see, that's it. I mean, truly, if you ever been, I don't care who you are, if you're sitting there, you're trying to get tech support or you're trying to just to get some anything, right, in the real world, it is so frustrating because you spend so much time just trying to find the right person that can help you.
Yeah.
And every time I've gone to you or someone in your team, you guys have gotten me the right person, answer questions, because it's new. It's so new to everybody else that's out there. You think it's so simple, but it's really not.
It's really complex, and government systems are designed to help the people, is what I like to think, but we're also very risk adverse. And so when you're in a risk adverse space, it starts to build layers and layers to make sure that we're being responsible with taxpayer money and that we're not opening liabilities up to the community. But that leads to bureaucracy. And so making sure that you have somebody who can help answer your question, and that's where we've really started to shift our focus. And the redevelopment agency specifically is I'm very focused on concierge level service. And so we've got a very small team that runs that group. There's only 6.5 people that are in the redevelopment agency.
Oh, and a half.
And a half.
Okay.
I've borrowed somebody on a partial basis, and that half makes a difference. And we've got this small group of people who are so creative and so invested in our community, and they're genuine helpers. And so my focus is, if you want to open a business downtown, call us. If you're looking at, I want to build a housing complex in downtown Reno, or I'm really interested in investing in redoing my facade frontage and I'm in a business on Gentry or Moana, I'm like, call us. Let us see what tools we have in the toolbox and how can we help you. We want to mitigate that bureaucracy and be nimble. And those are some options we have in the redevelopment agency that are a little bit different from the city. And so I am excited about that part of the job. People like that for the most part. I have money to give, so they tend to like me more.
You had me on that. You had money.
Yeah.
You said money. Go, that's great.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that maybe just people are, I don't want to say misinformed, or people don't necessarily see the big picture? Is there anything that jumps out of you? If you had everyone in Reno right now listening to you, is there one or two particular things you'd like to share with them that maybe they don't know, or just something you want to help clarify? Or
so part of, I think, as I mentioned, the dormancy of our agency has really led to some confusion, because now the city's general fund is in a tough spot. We've heard that on the news, and that will continue to be the same based off of our regressive property tax system in Nevada. And the redevelopment agency, we run in a different cycle. So those property taxes delay. They're not as volatile as the consolidated sales tax, which is what starts to hurt the general funds. You'll see that in cities all over Nevada. Our redevelopment fund is really investment. So it's not a piggy bank, it's an investment. It's truly, the monies must be invested in these very specific areas. These areas are downtown, midtown, the areas, as I mentioned, Gentry Grove, Yorita, Moana, that's another area. GSR is an area, and that's something that folks might have seen on the news. That was a redevelopment agency deal that was brought forward last year. That's going to be a $786 million investment in our community. That's actually the largest private investment in Reno's history.
Wow.
And that's something that was done in partnership with the redevelopment agency and GSR. What's great about that deal is that there's very low risk for the taxpayer. This is something, it's not a tax abatement. We don't have the ability to abate taxes at the local level. The legislature does that. We don't. Mm-hmm. And so this is a program where they come to the redevelopment agency and say, I want to build a thing. And turns out I need a little bit of help financially to do it. We look at the numbers, a third party reviews everything, and ultimately we agree that we'll help you. And the way we help you is you build the thing that we said we needed, and you pay your taxes, and then we will reimburse a portion of your taxes back to you to help with that investment. So they're still paying full ride on their own way. There's no bonding. There's no debt that's taken out by Reno taxpayers. So we're really approaching this in the most prudent, fiscally responsible way for the future, but yet we're investing in these projects that are helping to bring construction jobs, permanent jobs, additional entertainment, room nights. We've approved multiple of these projects. Actually, there's another one that will bring 200 condominium townhomes down by the river. And so that's another project that we're excited about. So there's some incredible opportunities, and some of our other programs we have, I can talk, as I mentioned, I have money to give.
Yeah, no, talk about whatever you think is important. What are you most excited about? Because that's one thing. There's many programs. You got a lot going on. But before you do that, I'm glad you explained that, because I can guarantee you most of our listeners don't have the clarity. Mm-hmm. They just say, here's a budget here with the city, and they don't understand the difference between the redevelopment.
Correct. The redevelopment agency is legally a separate entity. It is not the city of Reno. It's created by the city. But again, it's confines within the specific law. And so the best way that I describe it for folks is we decided that an area of town was blighted and adversely affecting the tax base. People think of downtown. And we've actually been trying to, quote unquote, fix downtown since the 60s when they built Park Lane Mall, and all of our retail attraction downtown left downtown. Yeah. So this is not a new problem that we've been working on, and it's not unique to downtown Reno. Most downtowns in America are struggling with coming out of COVID. The way that we shop is different. The way that we're looking for experiences is different as a community. And so our job is to try to figure out how to shift into what the community needs and bring that area back to life. And how you do that is the tax base stays frozen for the city and the school, and they get all the parts they were getting before, so no one's short any money. And any new development, any new taxpayer money comes into the redevelopment agency for us to reinvest in these programs. And some of our programs we're really proud of, one is called Restore, and that's a tenant improvement and facade improvement program. So tenants going into a building are allotted up to a $50,000 reimbursement grant to help them fix things in the building like HVAC or change some of the setup, things, water sprinklers. We also have within that grant an additional $50,000 that can be used for exterior facade improvement. We've got old awnings that need to come down, window replacements. And we have some great projects that we've actually partnered on. So if anybody's been to Birdie's downtown, which is a wonderful multi-use facility, it's cool, right?
Nice,
It used to be that vacant antique store at Stat Mall for years vacant. So we helped with the group that was redeveloping that. And so we're happy to see our investment there. The Derby Supply, if anybody gets their hair cut there on California Avenue, is another project that we help to work on and help fund. Let's see, the Morris Burner Hotel is coming along. That's one that we've helped to invest in. So we've got dozens of projects, and we're just really excited for this public partnership. What we're finding right now is it's about a 20-to-1 reinvestment. So that means every dollar that the redevelopment agency invests into this facade program, $20 is being invested by the private market.
Okay, great.
That's a big ratio.
It's a pretty good return on our money, right?
Yeah, really good.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
That's great. And I love you just referenced a couple of particular projects because people can physically go down there and look.
Yeah.
One of the things I get challenged about is this misinformation in so many different areas. They don't take the time to learn. They just make some assumptions, whatever they read on the internet. And the internet must be right. It's always right.
It's online. It's got to be right.
Or some people come and write these things and post these things about the museum and about anything. And then you go call them up and you clarify things. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, you need to be careful what you write, or at least do your homework, because the information that you're sharing is not accurate. Here's a couple of projects right off the bat. You can see with your own eyes where this money went to, and the 20-to-1 ratio. You can't beat that.
It's a really excellent return, and I'm grateful that our property owners and business owners trust us to go into that partnership and make those investments. And it allows people to be able to see things and see where that money is going. And we have so many programs that we're excited about. And to your point about the misinformation, the thing, I don't know if you're going to ask me the project I'm probably most proud of,
Let me ask you. So, what project are you most proud of?
Phil, I'm so glad that you asked me that. I had to really think about this one, Phil. I didn't know if you'd ask me. One thing that I'm so excited about is our 20-year agreement that we reached recently with the Aces AAA team.
Yes.
And so that's such a significant generational investment coming from, the Herb Simon family, that they're investing in Reno. They've committed to spending $40 million over the next 10 years around the ballpark, which is tremendous for the tax base, tremendous for new housing, new retail opportunities. But for me, it was that partnership alongside the commitment of 20 more years of AAA baseball in our community.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't have to lose sleep at night thinking about a blighted baseball team park, which is something it's a big deal.
Can you go into a little bit more detail on that one? Just explain a little bit, because most people are listening here are familiar with the Aces, but that seems really significant. So without getting into the weeds, what does that mean for the average Joe listening right now?
Sure. I would say that what most people didn't know was the thing that was keeping me up at night is the Reno Aces actually were only committed to stay in Reno for 3 more years.
Oh, did not know that.
Nobody knew. And it was something that this deal was super complex. And if people are very interested in the history of the deal or want to have a nap listening to me, they're welcome to go look at our Reno City Council meetings online. And this deal was really complex and something that was so important to the community back in the early 2000s. And by the time the deal was inked in 2007, we hit the Great Recession in 2008. And the Simon family continued to build the ballpark, even though things were not going great in the community. Right. And we had to restructure that deal in 2012 from financial obligations that the city was unable to meet. Mm-hmm. They could not write the check that they had promised. So they restructured the deal. Everyone said this deal is good through 2043, nothing to worry about. And I started poking through and said, I see a hole. And that's when we discovered that the Aces, they never threatened to leave, but they were not contractually obligated to stay.
Right. There's no commitment.
Past a certain time. And so that was huge for us to sit down with the Simon family and talk with the Aces. And they're committed to Reno and believe in that future and that growth that's coming. And so this was a great partnership for everybody. We were able to right some wrongs and shore up some additional liability that was hanging out. And they've committed to that $40 million investment in that downtown core. And we get baseball for another 2 decades. And that's something that's great. It's huge.
That is huge. You know what gets me? We talk about it. We hear that if it bleeds, it reads. We typically hear the negative stuff, right?
Yeah.
But this is stuff that is so important to downtown, to our culture, everything. Everyone enjoys that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you shared that story. I'm glad that I thought to ask you that important question.
I'm so glad that you thought to ask me that.
Are there any other important questions that I should think to ask you in the last couple of minutes we have?
Other important things. I'm big on sparking joy. And the other important question that you definitely asked me is, why should people come downtown? Mm-hmm. And it's something to your bleeds, it reads, people are quick to say negative things about downtown. Mm-hmm. And then my first question is, when was the last time you were downtown?
Absolutely.
Right? You know this. You're down there with me every day.
I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Yes.
It's people say, oh, well, I don't go downtown. I'm like, well, when was the last time you were there? It's either 10 years ago. And I was like, well, come back.
Well, yeah.
Come back. You haven't seen what we've been doing. We've been investing and the community has been investing. So that's thing one. Or the second one is people say, oh, I don't go downtown. I say, okay, well, have you been to a show at the Pioneer? Well, yeah, of course. Like, well,
then you go downtown.
Have you been to lunch at Wild River? Well, yeah. Have you gone to the Eddy? Have you gone to see Phil at the Auto Museum? Have you gone to an Aces game? Have you gone to a show at Glow Plaza? Have you been to a show at the Eldorado? Did you go see Spirit of Christmas? You start poking and they go, oh, well, yeah. I was like, well, that's downtown.
It is downtown. And you had a great experience. Yes, on all of those.
Yeah.
But they have that mindset, or they just, the gossip train, or they can't really back it up with anything. It's really a challenge. I get that all the time. Yep. And I've been with the museum for going on 6 years now. Yeah. And I'm glad because I just had my another year anniversary and the key still works.
Yeah,
so that was a good sign. I get a little nervous every time.
Best thing every day. I walk in, my badge works. I'm like, all right, one more day. One more day to go fight the good fight.
But just in that short time, it has changed dramatically downtown. Now, it's been improving a lot, but everything, the Riverwalk, everything is so much more vibrant. Mm-hmm. And I had the same problem. People go, I haven't been to the National Automobile Museum, or I was there. I go, when? You know what they tell me? Almost every time. Last time. What would you guess?
The 90s.
The prom.
The prom. Oh my gosh.
It's an inside joke. Every time, I don't care what kind of form it is, I go, they always tell me, oh yeah, come on. There's always been someone, when's the last time? Prom. And a couple of times, well, my 4th grade field trip or whatever, I go, we change things every 60 days. We put an enormous amount of money in. The city is behind us. The whole area. You just mentioned the Pioneer Center's a couple of blocks away. The Eddie's right there. The Renaissance is across the street. Everyone is just, it's really, really getting better and better and better. And has been for some time. So one last question before we wrap up. We got another 30 seconds here. I could talk to you for like 2 hours. So thank you very much for coming on.
I'm not brief, so I'm filling all your space.
I love it. My question is, if people want to get more involved or want to learn more, is there a particular venue or opportunity you want me to direct them to?
We always tell people to start with Reno.gov. Come to the website. We are getting ready to launch the new redevelopment website. We'll be online in the next couple of months. We've gone through a rebranding exercise, so you'll start seeing that brand pop up. But come to the website, come find me, reach out to me. I'm happy to help answer questions, but there's a ton of resources available. And I'm also happy to come speak to any group. Go on a bit of a circuit. And so if anyone would like me to come and speak to any of their organized groups, anything that I can be helpful, please reach out, and I'm happy to come and speak about the tools we have in our toolbox to better help them.
Love it. I love it. Ashley Turney, she's the Assistant City Manager at Reno. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with some meaningless, useless, but awesome knowledge.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000 square foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment, are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil McDougall.
Welcome back, Reno. You're on What Drives Reno, again with your host, Phil McDougall, made possible by the National Automobile Museum. Tara, I loved our first guest. Ashley was great. I learned so much in that conversation. I think most people were surprised by I know I was, with how things were funded in the redevelopment agency. It makes such a difference when people clarify where things really are spent and how they're funded.
That 20 to 1 ratio blew me out of the water. Yeah, that's unheard of.
Great. It's great. Before we go into our next guest, I am going to take just a couple of seconds here to go over what we need a drum roll. Useless but awesome knowledge. You got a drum roll? No,
I don't.
He started to clap in the background for me.
I started doing a drum roll and it didn't work.
I go, what am I going to do to support this? Phil didn't tell me this was coming. I threw this in. All right. So again, we're coming up with names, and right now it's called Useless but Awesome Knowledge. So I'm going to start off with, did you know, interesting fact, the cruise control was invented by a blind man?
Not surprising?
He invented his speed control out of frustration with his lawyers. He kept unintentionally changing his driving speed while talking. So he put in a speed control because he was frustrated by the way people were driving. That's how it came about. You know, the first radio almost got banned. Do you know why?
Why? Distraction, I'm guessing.
Distraction, absolutely. Wow. The big car manufacturer, actually the government said back in 1922 when they were being implemented, it says, they're too distracting. Can you imagine what they would do now with these boom boxes that you can hear them 5 miles away? I can understand that, but
I do too.
They were going at maybe 35 miles an hour back then compared to now. Now this one kind of grosses me out a little bit. So the famous new car smell, it's made up of about 50 volatile organic compounds. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
And the car manufacturers are trying their best to eliminate the smell because it contains very harmful chemicals with new components. So,
all right,
that new car smell.
I love that new car smell.
Don't take more than one little quick whiff of it. You know, the average American spends over how many hours in traffic every year? It's not as much as I thought.
It's not, but I bet it's in the 20s.
38 hours on average. I would have thought it would have been a lot more than that.
If you live in the Bay Area, it's double that.
And guess what percentage of time our cars spent parked?
Oh my! I bet 95% of the time.
Did you read my notes?
No, I did not.
Did you not really?
No.
That's amazing. 95%.
Was I right?
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, 95.
That's it. I'm going home.
Our episode here of useless but awesome knowledge information. If any of our listeners, the one between 1 and 1.5 billion listeners that we have listening right now, if you have an idea, a useless information, or you have a better title for it, please go to our Facebook page at the National Automobile Museum. Send me a note. And if we use it, actually, if you send me a note, this week, I'm going to give you a pair of tickets to one of our outdoor concerts.
Yeah, right.
Not even if we use it, if you send me a note.
Just
sounds fair?
say hi.
Just come say hi, Phil.
Yeah.
Your useless information is useless. All right. Alexis Adams.
Hello.
Yes, after that little thing we just did, there was just last minute we threw in there. Alexis, thank you. You're the senior program director at Communities and Schools of Western Nevada.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on board. And we have a little other thing in common. We're both
We're from the East Coast.
East Coast, yes.
Hey,
yes.
Shout out to the East Coast.
Yes, and you're a diehard Patriots fan?
Really?
No,
We're gonna,
and a Red
hold
Sox
on.
fan, I'm sure.
Hold on. Let's clarify the East Coast here because we all know the battles here.
We have final editing, so we can say whatever we can say.
Listen, I'm going to come see Phil at the museum and get my tickets.
So we have, you are originally from the...
I am from New York.
Okay. You still have a baseball team?
And we are the Yankees.
You do. That's still around. Now, we like to tease each other about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But back East people.
That is it.
Well, I'm going to switch right into gears. So tell me first, what was your first car? And if there's an interesting story you'd like to share with our listeners.
Okay, so let's go back. I had a Montero Mitsubishi Sport.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? And talk about work on it, right? Well, the parts were always breaking. I was learning actually how to fix my own car during that time because it was so expensive because Mitsubishi, I mean, we don't want to get into Carfax, but let's talk about that.
Let's do it. This is your time.
Yeah, so that was a thing for me.
Alexis drives Reno. This is your new change the name
no,
of the show.
let's not flag my car in this whole topic about me.
All right.
But that was one of my first cars, and I learned actually a lot about cars during that time because I had to fix everything on my own.
Normally, actually, the guest before you just shocked me the first time. She knew how to hotwire a car.
Yeah. Listen, we don't talk about those things coming from the East Coast.
It's just between us.
She could say that. I don't want to say that.
No,
I just know how to fix whatever's breaking in the engine sometimes. I try to.
You tried?
I learned. I got a degree on YouTube, let's just say.
Good. Perfect. All right, so you are, again, tell us your title.
I am a senior program director for Communities and Schools.
For people who aren't familiar, tell us, what is the 30,000 level? How do you describe your organization?
So Communities and Schools is the #1 dropout prevention in the U.S. And so here in Nevada, where we're located, we have 4 areas that we are in. So we're in Reno, Winnemucca, Elko, and our main home is Las Vegas. And so what we do is we provide a case manager embedded in the school full-time. That case manages 10% of the school's most at-risk youth. And we also are in elementary, middle, and high school. And our goal is usually to help dropout prevention and just provide supports for the school and for students and families and the community to just help them succeed in life.
Great. And I mean, that's a really high impact community space. How's your personal journey shaped your confidence and just how you lead?
Right. So I will say that when I obviously was in New York, I was actually doing fashion and makeup and hair. I moved to the West Coast, to Reno, and I started my adventure with Boys and Girls Club, actually.
Okay.
And once I started there, I had just had my son. He was a year old. And I started to realize that the youth that we were making an impact on, kind of helped grow me, I guess you could say. I had come from a very troubled background, and I was faced with poverty as well. And so being able to sit with these kids and just help them and understand what they're going through really impacted me to do more in our community, which then pushed me even further to do more community projects, get involved with city council stuff, and also the community with the health as well. So I've just kind of taken a whole different path from what I used to do and kind of put it in to help people now.
Well, and they need it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if there's one group that is so impressionable and they just need... You hear stories all the time. I mean, we all know people or we know of people that have had challenges and dropping out for a variety of reasons. Right. And for someone to come in and just dictate versus listen.
Right.
I would think one of the biggest things is listening.
No, it's huge. I mean, seriously, if you're going through a struggle, and I mean, anybody, if you take yourself back, right, 20 years, 10 years, however old
2 weeks.
you are. me was just a few years ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But, and you think about it, and you know, somebody could go through something completely different than the other person. But at the same time, we're all human. We deal with emotions differently. Now, if you don't have somebody in your life that is not there for you to listen to you or help you or guide you, what do you think is going to happen? Mm-hmm. You're going to fall off, right? I mean, nobody is worried about me. Why does it matter? But when you have people that understand uniquely approaches to help anybody going through something, it's a life changer. I mean, no matter how old you are, it could be even to now as adults, as we are, you know? There's
things and challenges at all parts of our life.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But I think one of the hardest things, and one of the things I struggle with the most, is when I see young people that they just have fewer options that were given to them.
Right.
And they, you know, even when they have everything, a lot of kids, they have everything. You know, we all went through those years. I just cringe when I think back of some of the things that I did at a young age.
Right.
Either how I spoke to my family or the bad judgment I had or the things I said. I'm like, my priorities were all screwed up.
Right.
And I always say to people, you start off with, you got 20 doors. And every one of those kind of missteps, you lose a door. And then by the time your doors are very limited as what your options can be in life. But if there's people listening right now, what are one of the most important things you want to communicate to them? Either how they can get involved in your organization, how they can help you, some milestones that are coming up. This is your moment to share which is most important to you.
I mean, honestly, Phil, I think the biggest thing is, one, always believe that you have a chance. Don't ever underestimate yourself, no matter where you come from, no matter what you wear, no matter what you look like, any of that. I mean, honestly, the way that you have confidence in yourself is what's going to drive you and what helps move you. 4 chances. Everybody has a chance, no matter where you come from. And no matter how many doors you have, you could have half of a door. You're still getting through there, right?
I love you just said that. That's exactly the truth.
Yes.
Just because it's not 15 of them, you still have many options.
There's always a way.
And there's always a person that if you just listen or I put it differently, if they have someone to help them, pull them through the door, maybe push them through the door, I think that's extremely valuable.
It's a thing. Somebody took a chance on me, right? I didn't come from a background in working in this area. And thank God somebody did and noticed that. And so I think what I leave here today is, of course, get involved. Get involved for the right reasons, though. Remember that. Remember who you are. Stay true to yourself. Remember there's always a chance no matter what. And your confidence is who runs you. And so that's my biggest thing. And remember to take a chance on somebody, no matter what they look like or where they come from.
Yeah, I mean, Terry, you jump in here as well. Sure. I remember you just said someone took a chance on you. I had a mentor. I remember when I was young. It's hard to believe because I don't shut up now. I was petrified to talk in class. I had no confidence in the world, and I remember a youth pastor who got involved in my life. I had other people, mentors that took a chance on me. When I moved to a certain job, I got my first job as a marketing manager, and this guy took a chance on me. And I mean, I was not qualified at all. But there you go. Have those people.
Yeah.
I know people that have had really, really challenging situations that were more in drugs and alcohol and a lot of different things. And they all attribute the success to one person who cared and listened to them, or an organization that was there just to give them
build them up.
Comfort.
Right.
Actually, that's just the word.
Yeah.
To build them up.
Build them
because
up.
it doesn't
confidence.
take much. This sounds really silly, but my wife does this all the time. this is going to sound silly, but my wife will all sincerity means everything. Constantly, if she sees somebody, she'll go, "Oh man, that's you just look so happy. I love your smile."
Right. Giving a compliment out in the street.
Does it to everybody.
Right.
She
That's a thing.
1,000% sincere.
I love it.
And I will go to her sometimes like, "Dude, we don't know. Like, why are you doing that?" She goes, "No, because when someone says something to you like that out of the blue, total stranger, doesn't it make you smile?"
What does it do?
Sure.
It builds your confidence, and
It's
that's
a
the
big
key
deal.
word. Right?
Although, as a New Yorker, do you sometimes think, "What are you up to?"
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Like, all right,
what are you
sly
doing?
guy.
Yeah.
I am saying.
I'm a West Coaster through and through, and I still go, "What's your angle? What's your angle here?"
But that's the problem is that we've all kind of been put in this box to believe that, are they really serious? Are they telling the truth? Because of so many shutdowns, right? Or so many closed doors.
Yeah.
So you're 100% correct, Phil. And I love your wife. I got to meet her. Because that's the thing, because you carry good energy, right?
It makes a big difference.
Right. And so that's my thing is, we live in this world that it's kind of looking at what do you have? Where do you come from? All of these things. But if you really start to talk to somebody and get to know them, you start to notice everybody is so different and somebody carries something that somebody else doesn't. Right. And that's what uniquely separates us. And that's the key here is just understanding people and building them up. That's the goal in life.
I love it. So specifically, if people want to get involved in your organization, how can they help you? What specific things? Do you want them to go to a website? Do you want them to go to a meeting? Do you want what can they do?
So we have multiple ways of helping. I would just highly recommend to go on our Communities and Schools of Nevada website, specifically clicking on Western Nevada, which is here, our home base for Reno, and then just set up a meeting, reach out. There's emails there. They can get involved and go see a school and go on a site tour and see our program. There's ways to volunteer. I work with a lot of, as you know, and you're one of them, our community partners to bring in services to the schools. So there's so many ways. So that's your best bet. Get on the website, look for the email one of us, and then we'll set up a meeting and figure out how we can do work together.
For those people who are listening and you're not sure what to do and you're bored and you just but you got full of passion and any of these things we talked about resonated with you, I encourage you to go to the website or contact the museum. We'll connect with you directly. Mm-hmm. We've done things together at the museum with the organization. There's not a better use of your time to go to help support people of all ages, but children specifically.
Right. There's nothing better than seeing a kid smile. And tell you that you're beautiful every day. Listen, we all need that.
We all do. We all do. Terry, can you say it to me more often, please?
I will, absolutely. And I'll even send you a nice text.
We're starting a trend here now.
Yes. All right. All right. Alexis, thank you very much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. So for people who want to know more about your organization, what's the website?
So it's Communities and Schools of Nevada. And once you get on that webpage, you're going to click on Western Nevada for Reno.
Perfect. Alexis, thank you very much for everything you do. Love having you in the show. And people get involved, please.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000 square foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil McDougall.
Welcome back, Reno. Our next guest is Amanda Burden, and she is the editor, publisher, and owner of Editable Reno Tahoe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to start right in by asking you, what was your first car? And if there's a funny story you'd like to share, we're all ears.
Oh, my goodness. So I got my mom's car, which was a 1974 Toyota Corona, like the beer station wagon. This thing was just in horrible shape. And the ceiling thing was falling down. I don't know what that's called.
The liner?
The liner was falling down. It was awful. So I had that for a little bit, but I really don't consider that my first car because I didn't choose it. It was just Mom gave me what she had. She was going to get a new
but at that
little
age,
used.
whatever we got we were happy with,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I was 16.
Freedom. It was freedom.
I was happy. So my dad said, you can have my 1954 Ford station wagon, or I'll give you $1,500 to buy a car. So I was like, I'll take that cash because I would like to buy a 1968 VW Bug.
Very cool.
So
did you buy
I consider, yes. So I purchased that,
That's a big
and
upgrade.
I had a friend whose family owned a car painting business. So he graciously had them paint my car this beautiful baby blue, sparkly metallic baby blue,
Nice.
and that I really consider my first car, the car that I chose.
So I'm curious. Most people I ask, their first car did not last long. Did you get some mileage out of this one?
I did.
Didn't get taken away, given to a sibling?
No.
Punishment taken away? No?
No.
Good.
Did you hotwire it at all?
Did you? Our first guest learned how to hotwire. That's why, and that's never happened before. So it was interesting.
Oh, no.
Their own car, by the way.
Off the air, you'll tell us if you learned how to hotwire.
There was a situation with the car that happened that was not responsible. I had nothing to do with it. My boyfriend was driving the car, and he bottomed out the transmission, cruising around really fast dirt corners in the middle of nowhere in Santa Barbara County where I grew up. And we had to have a tow truck come and pick us up with this flatbed, and it was jammed into gear. So they had to just pull this thing onto the flatbed. And it was just miraculous that we had this tow truck driver actually show up for us in the middle of nowhere. So I sold it shortly after that.
But that's a big upgrade from your first car.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I want to talk about
cars.
you and about the magazine and the time we have. So when did you start the magazine? For people who aren't familiar with it, give us an overview.
So I'm a longtime journalist. I worked for the RGJ for 7 years. I ran Reno magazine for that time, which was a wonderful opportunity. Unfortunately, I was laid off in 2009, along with a lot of other people, just during the newspaper issues that we've been having since that time and the downturn in the economy. It was tough. So I started Edible Reno Tahoe in 2009. We came out with our first issue in 2010. So I've been doing this for
That's a big
16
jump. You left
years.
that and you just went and that's a huge commitment. You just jumped right in with both feet. That's great.
Yes, I did. I had the journalism background, but I didn't have the sales background. And luckily, my wife has the sales background. So we have just been going gangbusters with this thing for 16 years. We're doing really well. We started with 4 issues, spring, summer, fall, winter, and then we added 2 more issues. So now we do 6 issues a year. And it's all about food.
I will say, my family and I, every time we see a new one, it's the first one we grab. And not the fact that I'm meeting you, I think is really cool because we read your magazine a lot.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad.
So normally I say this towards the end, but I just got to throw it in here right now. If you were to go back to you when you started the magazine, what advice would you give a younger you or the person who just said, I'm going to start this magazine? What would you say to that person? Anything come to mind?
Of course. Have your ducks in a row. I did some crazy things, I'll have to tell you. So I tried to get funding for my magazine. I didn't have the money, and I went every possible place you could go, to banks, to VCs, to microloans, any possible way that I could find money, and I couldn't find any money. So I did something that you should never do, kids, which is pull all of your money out of your 401k.
You did
so
it.
I was all in, as they say
really
in
did
Nevada.
Go all in then.
I went all in, and I luckily we won. We won big with this, and in a time where people say print is dead. Print isn't dead in this community. We're very lucky. People love the magazine. They fly off the shelves. We've got great advertisers. We've got Renown and Northern Nevada Medical and Toll Brothers, and we've got some big people who are supporting us. We're very, very fortunate.
Well, there's no way you would be in business now if it wasn't good, if you didn't have a good quality product. I mean, because that's an unusual story that people start from scratch, pull out your 401k, risk it all, but they're still in business and growing.
Yes.
That's a testament to you and your publication and your hard work. So you got a new edition, a spring issue that's on the stands right now. Tell us a little bit about it. What can readers find in this new issue?
Yeah, so spring is actually just coming off the stands, and our new issue is our Cooks issue, which is our May-June issue, and it's hitting stands on Saturday.
And we see it right now.
Yes. So I brought an extra copy here that isn't even out on stands yet. And this is our special Cooks issue. So we're all about tips and tricks, lots of recipes. So we feel like all the rest of the year we're telling people where to get their local food and how to cook their local food and everything. And so this one is really just about get in the kitchen and get some healthy food.
So it's going on the shelf today, Saturday.
Today is the day. Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Great.
Yes. So this is it. And people can subscribe to it as well. You can subscribe or find it out on the stands.
So when you're talking about future and upcoming issues, and what are some of the things that you look for? I'm just curious.
Our summer issue is going to be really fun. So that's our July-August issue. We're doing a story on sandwiches. So all your favorite sandwiches all around the region. So we cover 13 counties. So we're all over Lake Tahoe, Truckee, Northern Nevada, Reno, of course. So we're looking all over the region at our area's best sandwiches. So that's going to be a fun feature in our summer issue coming up.
You'll have to come to my house for that one. So,
How many publications copies do you on average?
We print 20,000 copies.
That's
so
great.
we distribute 20,000 in those 13 counties all over.
So I have to ask you this question. I just imagine, because how often do they come out?
So 6 times a year. So every 2 months.
So every 2 months, do you sit in like a war room with stickies and Post-its? I mean, truly, because I have these great ideas, and then I wake up tomorrow and I go, oh my God, that was the stupidest thing I ever thought of. And then the next day I go, oh no, that wasn't that bad. I have all these little out-of-body experiences that I think are great. But you have to turn around before you know it, you're working on the next one. You can't just lay it all out in 30 days. So how do you come about what these themes are going to be or what you're going to focus on?
Yeah, so we work actually 4 months in advance of publication.
Wow, you're that far out.
I've
never been that far out in my entire life.
It takes a long time. It takes 2 weeks to print, 2 weeks to deliver, and you just back it up from there. 2 weeks to design, a month for writers and photographers to get everything together, and then the planning before that, and selling the ads and designing the ads and putting it all together. So, no, it takes actually a long time. So we are working way in advance, and we're just, I have a big bunch of story ideas, and our writers submit story ideas, and we do sit in some sort of a war room, usually more like a restaurant, and we decide what's going into the next issue.
Have you ever done a picture or a layout of just what goes behind the scenes with you guys all? I think that would be interesting to see you behind the scenes of who's making it.
That's a good question.
I would be interested.
We've never done that before.
I'm always wondering, like in a newsroom, how they come up with these stories, publications, and I think most people are surprised. I know I'm naive, but I know a little bit more about this because my background as well. But to think this gets turned out like, okay, we got an idea today and we're going to get it to print in 10 days.
No,
there's a lot more that goes into it. Yes. We pour our hearts into it, and yes, it takes some time.
So how can people find? Oh,
no. I was just going to say, because sometimes I've kind of helped out in areas like this before, and then you get and you're excited, and then you realize you have a quarter page blank, and you're like, oh, what do we do? So anyway.
Right. We make sure that doesn't happen in advance. So
a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of relationships. So tell me, how can people find a copy of the magazine?
Well, we'd love it if people would subscribe. They can go to our website, ediblerenotahoe.com, and subscribe right there on the website. It's only $34 for the year for all 6 issues, and that helps support
reasonable.
us.
That is very reasonable.
I think it's great, and it makes a great gift as well. Or you can find it out on the stands, too. So we're all over the region. We're in about 500 locations in those 13 counties, in bookstores and restaurants and grocery stores, anywhere you can imagine.
So we're in the last minute or so. What can you tell us about the local food and drink community? Because I know it's passionate. I've only been here for about 9 years now, and I just know it's just so vibrant. Tell us from your perspective,
Yes. So I moved to Reno 25 years ago. Well, in November, it'll be 25 years. And when I first moved here 25 years ago, I really feel like we were more of a steak and potatoes kind of town. You know, the casinos, you got your buffets, you got your steak and potatoes. Not a lot of independently owned restaurants. There were some, of course, but just not a lot. We weren't really thriving. But in those 25 years, we've really gotten so many different restaurants and bakeries and bars. And now there's breweries and wineries and distilleries. There's just so much going on in our food and drink community, and we cover all of that and more. So food, drink, farming, anything you can imagine. Recipes.
Reno's food scene is very, very underrated. It's very underrated.
I think so, too.
It's one of the best in the West Coast, in my opinion.
And it's diverse. I mean, I just had lunch at Mudang Thai, which is amazing, you know, and Arario, Korean, and Indian restaurants galore. So we're getting more diverse and there's more choices, which is nice, you know?
Love it. I love it. I wish we had, well, actually, we're going to have you back. We have more time. I really appreciate coming on. In the last 15 seconds or so, where do people go to learn about your publication?
Go to ediblerenotahoe.com.
Perfect. Amanda, thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show. Love to have you come back and talk more. And I want to see this war room and how you guys put it all together, because I'm sure that's pretty exciting to watch.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater, or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000-square-foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment, are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil McDougall.
All right, everybody. Great show. Terry, great guest.
Wow, fantastic show. Everything from Ashley to Alexis to Amanda. All of them were just fantastic, and I learned something new from every one of them.
And actually, you know what's depressing to me?
What?
Is that I'm always like the low point in the show.
No.
They're so much smarter and there's so much more passion, and they do so much for the community. You know, Ashley was modest. She is amazing.
She's a powerhouse.
What they do.
Yeah.
And believe me, everyone knows anything to do with the city, it's extremely challenging. She talked about all the red tape that goes in it, and she's plowing through it, and everything is getting so much better.
Yeah, it is.
And I want people to focus on all the positive things and not the negative. And part of it was, if you haven't come downtown, especially like in years, you don't know how much better it is, and it's better and better all the time.
Even in the last 3 years, you can tell a big difference between downtown then to downtown now.
Actually, it's changed.
Yeah.
It's really
I'm down there a lot more now.
They need to take advantage of it. She just mentioned the Automobile Museum, the Eddy, the Pioneer Center, amazing restaurants. It's got a lot to offer. Before we
the Automobile Museum.
Yes, thank you very much. One thing I want to share, I want to remind everybody, is that we have a summer concert series. Again, if you have some information you'd like us to share, if you would like to be on the show, if you know somebody you think that would enjoy being on the show to communicate about their organization, their passion, whatever that might be, go to our Facebook page, Automobile Museum and National Automobile Museum. Automuseum.org is the website. Send me a note and we'll get you on the show. Remind everybody, our summer concert series, the first one is almost sold out already, and that's the Eagles Tribute Band on June 20th. It's going to be outside on the river by the museum on our pavilion. Next one is July 11th, Jimmy Buffett Tribute Band, followed by the Beatles, August 29th. I think I said Beach Boys earlier.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So it is the Beatles.
Yeah.
August 29th, and then Creedence Clearwater Tribute Band. Yeah. I messed that one up last time, too. That is September 19th. But breaking news, August 28th, it's a Friday night. We've reserved the drive-in in Sparks. We're going to show Grease.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the Grease car there. We are going to have a Sha-na-na band like there, 50s music. So it is so reasonable. It is $40 for a car. You can cram as many people you want in a car, but we have a limit. So we will sell out way before that event.
I got a big van.
You got it. Okay. So you'll be getting 20 people, and you're only going to charge $20 a person, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you go to our website, automuseum.org, check it out. You're not going to want to miss the Grease party that we're going to have with music, with band, with the movie. You're going to take you back in time. All the cars are invited to come. Only $40 per carload. All right. Until then, we will see you next week. Come visit us at the National Automobile Museum. We'd love to see you again soon.
You've been listening to What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. For more information about the museum, head on over to our website, automuseum.org. We'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. with What Drives Reno on 1060 a.m. KFOY.